Welcome to another episode of Around the 412. We are part of the Pod Hub Network. I'm Tyler, and with me, as always, are Smitty and Herb, and our new fourth co-host.
Yeah.
Kind of. Donnie Drew. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, so it's actually been almost 2 months. Sorry, not 2 months. 2 days to the day where I last been on the show 3 months ago. So it's good to be back.
Anniversary.
Good to officially be a part of the Around the 412.
It was that long ago?
Yeah, it was back in
Bro, I thought that was like a month ago.
April. Fifth member coming soon, Josh Bell, huh?
We broke him.
We'll make the pitch soon.
We broke him.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps playing baseball the way he has been, I mean, along with the rest of the team, there's going to be a lot of openings.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, the Around the 412 Fantasy Football Show is going to be hosted by me and Donnie. So Donnie is now a member of Around the 412. So, obviously, go follow him on everything. And that show is going to be coming very soon. Anybody that, if we're friends on Snapchat, you've seen the updates because I keep taking pictures of my new stuff. But I'm getting my own equipment. Well, I've got my own equipment now. So, really very close to putting out an episode. But, yeah, within the next couple of weeks, we'll probably have one out there for you guys. So, looking forward to that.
The other two of us, none of you care about, will make appearances too.
Right. Probably the first one.
Probably. After that, I'm going to just fade into the blackness because I know nothing.
People are going to be like, what happened to the other ones that were on there? But, so there's that. Of course, beginning end of every show, we're going to be talking about it for months. Rock Around the 412, year 2 is underway. We did change the mission of it. Still essentially the same goal, helping people at Christmas time. That's the mission of it. But this time, helping out families who, for one reason or another, aren't able to provide their kids with the Christmas gifts that they deserve. So that's going to be the mission for this year. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Remember, win, not if. When you donate, it's for the kids.
Right. And when, not if, you donate, you're going to be eligible for some great prizes as you were last year. All the jerseys. 3 different Steelers jerseys, the Penguins jersey, the Pirates jersey. Unfortunately, just because of the way their schedule shook out, no Steeler tickets this year. Last year was perfect because they played right around New Year's, after Christmas. But and then the $50 total sports entertainment card, which I don't know if you guys realize this. It's not just sports that they do there. Like, it's in the name, but if you go on their website, they have like autographed movie posters and stuff like that. So, even if you're not into the sports thing or you'd rather have one of those things.
Or even Pittsburgh stuff. They have stuff from like Vikings players.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Brett Favre has stuff there.
Yeah, it's because there's different, total sports locations. It's not just Pittsburgh. So really, anything. So that, and then, a couple things from our merch store as well. So obviously that's the most, that's the best stuff on there.
I forgot.
That's what you really want.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, okay, now that we're done with that spiel, we can kind of jump right into it. Obviously, Donnie's here, so we got to talk a lot about the Steelers.
I need to redact something.
Oh, yeah, before anything starts. Yeah, before we do
I want Donnie's opinion on it, too. I have to apologize and redact to Tyler. With what the Leafs did this week, I redact my statement of under $10 million.
Thank you.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Donnie?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is your opinion on the shenanigans?
I don't really have one, so I follow hockey as close as I can. Mainly, I just get my sources from like you guys, specifically Herb, because I know he's a big Leafs guy.
L.
Specifically Herb? Are you serious?
Specifically Herb.
Rare L.
Rare at nobody. Funny.
No.
Yeah.
But
I don't have an opinion on it. I don't lean like one or the other. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say anything stupid. So.
I mean, you're also in Arizona. They don't get much love. But
hey, ticket sales up.
If you don't want to say something stupid, then just say he's going to get at least $10 million, okay?
Yeah, you could do that. Also, I just realized one of our members is still going to get to watch Phil Kessel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we just passed. Sure. We passed them on.
Yeah.
The season ticket sales went up 550%. You weren't part of that, were you?
No, not at all.
I mean, their season tickets are probably like $20.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, $20 until the Penguins come to town, then they jack up the prices.
Yeah.
There's do you know though, like season ticket holders there by chance, if they get similar treatment to like the season ticket holders for like say the Florida Panthers, where it's just like ridiculous incentives?
I don't think so.
It's not anything special that they get.
Okay.
As far as I know, there's really no packages.
Well-
I mean, I think they have like food packages depending on like where you get your season tickets at. But it's not like, hey, here's $50 for every ticket you buy. So please come on
Well,
in.
do you know some of the stuff that like the Florida Panthers do to get people to buy
Not
season
particularly.
tickets? Like go in like the private jet of the owner, like
What?
with the owner. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
got
they do ridiculous
jerseys.
things to
Yeah.
They'll do ridiculous things to drive ticket sales. Well, you know what? Honestly, like I feel like some of the stuff that they're doing is probably going to increase ticket sales down there, but still, it's just like the area.
We were contemplating getting season tickets for them, and we lived up here.
just for the perks of it.
Yeah. Man.
Go
I
down
forgot
there
about
like
that.
for one weekend and it's already worth it.
Yeah, you get 3 jerseys, a flight with the owner, and who knows?
Go to a
That's
couple
awesome.
games during the week and then head back.
Yeah.
And, well,
Yeah, flights to Florida ain't nothing, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
What teams in other sports would be comparable to like that? Like, please like our team.
The Royals, the A's,
The Rays.
yeah.
The Marlins.
The Marlins.
Miami
Oh
just
my
Miami
God,
just
yeah.
struggling out here.
Up until like
Like
last
what
year, the 49ers.
I would say what football team?
The Browns up until
The thing
last
is,
year.
football is like the biggest sport, so you don't have as much of a like. Please
The
like
Chargers
us.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I
Yeah.
mean,
Can't
they don't
fill
even
a soccer
they don't
stadium.
even sell out an MLS stadium.
The Buccaneers, the Jags, get us.
get us. Pay Jalen Ramsey, am I right?
Hey,
Who's the other
Jalen
one?
Ramsey. Yes.
Who's the other one that need to pay? I can't remember his name. I just saw it today. Tong was talking about it. Starts with a Y.
Ngakoue.
Oh, yeah, Yannick
Yeah.
Ngakoue. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. They offered him like, well, we're going to talk about football anyway, but they offered him like $19 million a season or something
Quick
like that,
response,
but on a
get us.
short term. Oh, he's in here?
Yeah.
Yannick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about football anyway. We're going to
Said
talk
pay the
about
man.
a ton of football, of course, because Donnie's on here. So Steelers train camp's underway. Train camp in the NFL is underway. But, yeah, the Steelers starting today. Totally different, right, from past years. I mean, you didn't have the flamboyant entrance of AB.
No
that,
helicopter.
that was honestly, like, today, one thing that, like, I kind of missed.
Was the only person
Like,
that
I-
made like an entrance Eli Rogers?
That was ridiculous. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was, like, the only one I saw. Like, Juju basically snuck into the building.
Yeah. Which I
Yeah.
don't blame him.
But yeah, nothing like too special. And like I said, obviously, I kind of enjoyed the entrances like that. So I kind of missed, the no helicopter coming into this
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
coming
a
No,
in,
little bit.
no
but
custom Rolls Royce.
no custom Rolls
Hey,
Royce.
you missed Kwong arriving. He's out there for the month.
Yeah. Shout out to Kwon.
Yeah.
I told Jamal that if the Steelers missed the playoffs again this year, I know
Kwong's fault.
where the blame's going.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there are a couple position battles to watch for. And Donnie, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you think are the position battles to watch for the Steelers?
So I think you got to start at the middle linebacker position. The Steelers addressed that last year in the draft with Devin Bush trading up to number 10 and grabbing him. So Devin Bush, his spot kind of seems to be secure, but there's might be a little bit of a battle between Mark Barron and Vince Williams for the other starting linebacker spot. And I think whoever doesn't win that job will still be able to rotate frequently. The Steelers, they just need to get more athletic at the middle linebacker position. I mean, it's not rocket science. You gentlemen watch games like you did last year. I can't tell you how many balls went over the middle of the field, right over a middle linebacker's hand and into a receiver.
It felt like every pass in the fourth quarter.
Dude, it was like the Steelers made Derek Carr look like Dan Marino on that last drive against the Raiders. I could not believe it. Another position battle you got to look at is going to be the kind of fourth receiver position battle, and Eli Rogers is actually going to be involved in that. It'll be Rogers versus Ryan Switzer, and it's kind of interesting for Switzer because Deontay Johnson, the Steelers rookie receiver, he's expected to take over for the return game, so that kind of nixes Switz's role in that. So it's really just down to him being a pure receiver. And, him working versus Eli Rogers, you don't necessarily want to have both of those guys on the roster because essentially they're the same guy. Switzer might be a little bit smaller than Rogers, but, they're both guys just plug in a slot. You let them work little out routes, little slant routes here and there. But, they don't do a whole bunch. Their route tree isn't super extended. So that'll be an interesting one to watch. And then right tackle, I feel like nobody's really talking about it. Marcus Gobert traded to Arizona earlier in the offseason. Matt Filer seems to be the head guy for the job. He's the guy who stepped in for Gilbert last year, and he did a phenomenal job. But I can never get this guy's name right. Chukwuma Okorafor?
Oh,
I don't know if that's how you say his name.
Yeah,
Okorofor is his last name.
Yeah, because I was saying
gotcha.
Okafor. I'm sorry, not
Oh,
Okorafor.
as in, like the
originally.
basketball
Like
player?
there wasn't that R right at the
Yeah.
beginning. Okorafor.
Yeah, I still got to get the name down, but he had a lot of hype going into the last year before he got hurt. So, while Matt Filer is the leader in the clubhouse for that job, Chukwuma can definitely come in and try to make some noise as well.
Yeah, and I've even seen, the kind of, I think it's between those two. I've seen some people say like a dark horse, Gerald Hawkins, who, was hurt basically all of last year as well.
Yeah. That's another guy.
But you mentioned the receivers. I think really, the receivers are interesting in general just behind Juju. I mean, obviously you
I think Moncrief's
Moncrief to me is going to be the wide receiver too. And Washington's going to be on the roster. It's not necessarily like you said where it's Switzer or Rogers, but I think it's interesting to see how they play out in terms of the role. Who's the wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ideally the Steelers are going to have Juju lined up in the slot just because that's where he works best out of. And then you're definitely not going to pay Dante Moncrief that money and not play him. So you're going to have him probably at the X role, which will be on the left side of the field most times. And then that's kind of where you get into the fuzzy area of the Steelers and what they might do. I mean, obviously, you would want James Washington to take that next step up in his second year and kind of be that guy we know he can be. But if Deontay Johnson is every bit as good as he's been hyped up to be, then I think there might be some serious heads being turned there if Johnson can progress throughout the season.
Yeah, there's a lot of targets that were lost that can be spread around going into this season. So, but yeah, as far as the other battles, like you said, at tackle, linebacker. I mean, even like you said, I don't think that there's any doubt that Devin Bush is a starter day one. Yeah. You don't, trade up like that to get your guy and not start him.
That'd be tragic.
However, they did say that, of course they're going to say that, they don't want rookies to start from day one or whatever. And, Mark Barron's there, like you said, Vince Williams. Those are two guys that you expect to compete for one spot, not, both of them be starters. But, yeah, definitely some things to watch. How do you think? What do you think about the cornerback situation?
Interesting. I think the Steelers can have a really good corner group if Artie Burns can somehow get his shit together. Steven Nelson is a
strategy
upgrade. Definitely bold strategy. Let's see how it pays off. Nelson was brought in from Kansas City, and while he wasn't a terrible cornerback, he's not some franchise changing this game defying corner that a lot of Steeler fans on Twitter think he might be. So obviously it's really nice to have Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden locked down one side. Mike Hilton signed his tender today, so it's really good news for Steelers fans. So hopefully he gets paid soon. And then you kind of have Steven Nelson is obviously supposed to be the other side of the corner, but it's really up to Artie Burns to see if he can take over and kind of own his skills because he might not find himself on the roster this year. There was speculation that he's going to be cut before camp.
Yeah. What does he do, an $800,000 bonus if he's on the roster day 3?
Something like that, 800 to 900,000 if he's on the roster after day 3.
Mm-hmm. How about Justin Lane? What do you think his role will be this season?
I really don't think they want to kind of throw him to the wolves, especially with the receiver talent the Steelers are going to be facing this year. I think they kind of want to work Justin Lane in slowly but surely. I don't think year one is going to be a very career-defining year for Justin Lane. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he plays a lot, and he's a lockdown corner that we all hope he can be from Michigan State. But with kind of the depth we see right now on the roster, I think he might see a little bit more time than Artie Burns, just depending on how comfortable Keith Butler is rolling him out in that system. But by the end of the year, I do think Justin Lane will carve out a decent role in the Steelers defense.
Yeah. And I've seen, a lot of people say, well, we didn't know the situation with Hilton, obviously, but, if that slot corner job would have been open, a lot of people were talking about, because Nelson did play in the slot for Kansas City a little bit, but he wasn't nearly as good as on the outside. So that would have been a little worrisome had Nelson had to kick inside of the slot, and then you worry about, is Lane starting day one, or is it going to be Artie Burns, or I don't know, Cam Sutton?
Yeah, I think Mike Hilton definitely eased a lot of headaches that could potentially happen just by signing his tender. So,
right,
just don't have Artie Burns cover Tyler Boyd.
Well,
Oh,
would you even
no.
consider that covering him? I mean, just don't have him on the field at the same time.
I
He
forgot
just
about
stood there
that.
like a Madden corner. He just stood there.
So Artie Burns was in Monaca, while Tyler Boyd was that Heinz Field, that
What?
game, or was that in Cincinnati?
I think it was at Heinz Field.
Okay, so yeah, Tyler Boyd was standing in Heinz Field's end zone while Artie Burns was in Monaca.
Pretty much.
Just news today, the Tomlin 1-year extension. So just a 1-year extension, and
Yeah.
the first day at training camp. What do you make of that?
Tomlin, I believe, only had 1 year left on his contract going into this year. So I think it's very interesting. The timelines of both Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger's contract end up at the same area. It's over after the 2021 season, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Steelers kind of recognize like the end of an era is coming, and I think they want to give themselves the opportunity to where if they feel like they need to just hit the refresh button, your Hall of Fame quarterback's gone. Why not start brand new? Why not get a new guy in here, kind of get the culture changed a little bit? I think they're buying themselves a little bit more time to see if Mike Tomlin is still kind of that guy a little over 10 years after originally hiring him. Tomlin's a young guy. He's a super young guy. So, his age isn't like a factor at all. He can coach for upwards of 10 or, 20 more years. So the physicality of him coaching isn't a problem. It's more so, hey, he's been here for X amount of years. He won one Super Bowl, his second year coaching in Pittsburgh. But ever since then, he hasn't really, been on par as far as like championship expectations are concerned.
Yeah, so I guess my thing with that, and that completely makes sense, the coach going out with the quarterback. But my thing to all the people that are, because I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin. My thing to the Tomlin haters is, let's see him coach without that franchise quarterback. So it'd be a little bit disappointing for me to see him not even coach a game without Ben, because that just gives those people more ammo that think he was just he had a decent record because he had a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. People are super weird about Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. That's one thing I've noticed. Like it's such an extreme love-or-hate relationship with him.
You're not kidding. I think these next 2 years are probably going to be prove-it years to see if he gets an extension after, just to see how they are without two generational talents on the team. Even though last year they arguably didn't.
They were
have
without one already. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. It's just now I'm just thinking in my head, the Steelers without Tomlin and Roethlisberger, and it's just.
It's like the Penguins without Crosby. It's coming, but we don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Don't.
That's a little bit farther down the line, though.
Sorry, Donnie.
That's okay.
Hayden wore a Crosby jersey to camp.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
man, looking fire in that jersey.
Did you see the tweet from the Cleveland Reporter that was like, "Oh, what was that eye roll at the end?"
No.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, there was. They took the Steelers video, and at the very end, I think it may have been Filer. He was shaking his hand whenever he walked in.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, at the end of the video in the very corner, you see his eyes, like, roll. And I'm like, I don't think that was, like, an eye roll, but you got to find the drama and everything,
Tell the Browns
right?
to worry about putting up another picture or another video of an OBJ or Baker Mayfield OBJ completion.
Yeah.
I'm like, are we going to get a video every single time that this dude throws to him?
Yes.
Dude, they tweeted today a picture of OBJ catching a ball and said he did this in his first practice or something. It's like, what, he caught a ball?
Of course they're going to do that, because what have they had the past 15 years? Colt McCoy?
Yeah, like, I think of this, like, trajectory in terms of this hype train. That's built, like, I don't think that we've ever seen something like this quick, this drastic.
At least in the NFL.
Where, like, a team goes from winning 7 games to all of a sudden thinking they're, like, the favorites in the AFC.
Yeah, I've seen Browns fans say they're going 13-3 next year. So
Idiots.
Oh my God, like, I mean, I get it. Look at that roster. It should be very good, but prove it. Like, play games.
I'm still
going
to say the Steelers are going to beat them twice.
I gotta see them play games together before I can buy into this.
I think the real issue here is that Joe Hayden is over the age of 30 and wearing a jersey.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And although, wait, how old is Joe Hayden?
He's over 30.
But is Crosby older or younger than him? That's the question.
Find out.
Beefy, can you do me a favor?
Okay.
What?
Could you pull up Greg Wyshynski's Twitter and tell me what that replied to the
Who?
jersey? Greg Wyshynski.
How do you spell that?
Oh.
WYSH.
There's a
should
W.
pop up.
Sidney Crosby
He is younger.
Is
Sidney Crosby turns
1 year older.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby turns 32 in August.
Okay, so it'd just be weird if Crosby wore a Hayden jersey then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although they're both like adults, so it's still weird. Apparently.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What were we doing? Oh, you wanted him to.
Yeah, I want to find what Wyshynski said to that because it was hysterical.
Okay.
Oh, another thing.
How long ago did you tweet that?
It was within the past 12 hours.
Speaking of Joe Hayden, though, apparently there's some talks there.
Oh yeah.
There's dialogue for an extension there,
And he is
and this is his last season.
positive something.
Oh,
like that?
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say that this is his last season. Yeah,
Yeah.
positive talks.
Yeah.
Donnie, how do you feel about a Joe Hayden contract extension, and what do you think it would look like in terms of numbers?
I feel very good about it. Joe Hayden has brought in a spark to the Steelers secondary that's been missing ever since Troy Polamalu and the likes of Ike Taylor have left. I don't think the contract would be extremely lucrative. If you're making me guess off the top of my head, I would go probably like a 3-year deal. Do you know what he's making annually right now?
I do not. It's relatively low, right?
I thought it was
10.
$10.
It's not some crazy corner money that Jalen Ramsey wants per se.
Yeah, because he also got bought out, right? Or did he get released?
3-year, $27 million contract.
So 9.
So yeah, he's making an average annual salary of $9 million a year. I would expect numbers around there. I mean, you could probably bump the $1 million up 1 or 2, but nothing groundbreaking. I think Hayden wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He's made that very apparent, and I think the Steelers want him to stay in Pittsburgh too. I hope this can put away all of the garbage articles we had to read in the offseason talking about how the Steelers could possibly cut him to try to save some cap.
Oh my God! Not even just
What are we, the Browns?
not even just the Steelers could possibly cut him. There were sites listing him as a top cut candidate, in all of football.
Did Morgan Burnett just fade into the blackness in these articles, or
Yeah.
Oh, is he healthy
that's who
enough
they
to
thought
fade
it was.
into the blackness?
what, Donnie?
So, is he even healthy enough to fade into the
Oh
blackness?
yeah, good
or
point. I
is
don't
he
know,
out?
man.
Man, imagine having a Morgan Burnett jersey.
He might not even be snapped
Yeah,
out of
Smitty, imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
That's about to be a Sutton Smith jersey real soon.
Good.
Ooh.
Did I tell you Mike Tomlin's comments on him?
Oh, you were telling what Kwong said.
Yeah. I don't think Donnie ever heard this. My buddy, he's helping out with the equipment side of the Steelers. And I guess one day he was in a meeting with Mike Tomlin and all the rookies. And he starts talking about Sutton. And he goes, that man's a crazy motherfucker.
He seems like the type of guy that wants to play football without a helmet. You remember the video of Brian Cushing headbutting the guy with the helmet on while he's not wearing one?
Yeah.
That's Sutton Smith.
Yeah.
A kid in my high school did that. Tom Helbling, my sophomore year of high school in football. We were were out on a game. Who were we playing? We were playing, I think, Beaver Falls maybe. And he headbutted someone without his helmet, and the dude had his helmet on. And he split open his forehead.
Yeah.
That's a horrible
so
life choice.
Our trainer just taped it shut, and then he
We
played.
used to have a coach that, to fire us up, would headbutt a locker.
I've heard of those existing.
And
Did
his
your
head would bleed every
I would say, did your lockers have the little pointy things too? The air
yeah, like the
slits?
ventilations.
Yeah, those are pointy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
Why would you do that? I found the Greg Wyshynski tweet, by the way.
What did it say? Super sarcasm here, by the way.
He said, "I'll go one step further. If you're at a sporting event and you're not wearing a jersey, I'm just going to assume you're using your company's tickets or you are a cop."
Or you were a cop.
That's awesome.
Dude, I just
That means anyone in the lower bowl in the
Yeah.
Lexus Club at
that
Penguin
whole
games.
conversation just took me by surprise. I'm like, this is really a topic?
Yeah.
People think like this?
The fact Wish got in on that.
Yeah.
That's national ESPN.
Yeah.
If you don't wear a jersey, I don't care. But if you have a problem with someone wearing a jersey, then what's your issue?
I just have trouble understanding the mindset.
I have a problem with the jersey itself sometimes.
It's kind of like the way it kind of is whenever, for example, the Pirates fans or anti-Pirates fans would tell people to not go to games.
Yeah.
It's who are you to tell someone how to fan?
Exactly. The only thing I have is for instance, I have an Albert Pujols Angels jersey when he first went there. if
At
I
least
wore
it's
that
not
to,
a Cardinals jersey.
if I went to a Pirate game wearing that and they were playing the Yankees, why?
Well, it's like
I don't.
Why?
I went to a game earlier this year and I saw a group of 3 girls and all of them were wearing baseball jerseys, but none of them
Knew the
were
players? Oh.
probably not. But none of
Let's start that topic
yeah,
again.
let's stop my sexist topic. But none of them were Pirates or Milwaukee jerseys. The game we were at.
Yeah.
The one was a Red Sox. One was I think the Twins, and the other
Twins.
yeah,
Yeah.
Twins.
Trevor May.
Trevor May.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
And then I don't even know what the third one was, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with the game that was going on in Pittsburgh.
The other day, I went downtown. I took the T in. So it was the day Pirate game. I think it wasn't this Sunday, but this kid was wearing a Troy Tulowitzki jersey.
Oh, you retired today.
Yeah, topical.
Yeah.
And I was just like, It was a Blue Jays one too. I was like, huh, why?
Interesting. Okay, so there are some more, quick hits, if you will, to cover in football.
Yeah.
Um,
Puns.
we brought up Tyler Boyd. He signed an extension for 4 years, $43 million. What, you're laughing at your
Claire-
own thing? Are you laughing at your own?
No, that was me. I was laughing
Pitt,
at her.
nice. Go to
Yeah,
Pitt.
Pitt.
Go to Pitt. You make money. Apparently.
Yeah.
LOL.
LOL.
Next, somebody's gonna say raw XD.
Let's compare Hall of Famers real quick.
If you can't get into college, go to Pitt.
If you want to be in the Hall of Fame, go to Pitt.
Mark Sanchez retired.
He did.
Yes.
Oh wow,
He's going to be like a college football analyst,
that makes sense.
I guess. So,
His analytics are pretty much don't run into your lineman's ass.
yeah. But I saw he did have 4 road playoff victories in his career, which is like the same amount as Tom Brady.
I was gonna say that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
He also has a really good interception statistic, 69.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's why he retired.
Elite.
Big.
He
big
knew it.
Can
He's
not
like,
risk
he's like,
throwing
I
another
could come
one.
back, but
That's what Jake.
I looked at my
for.
stats real quick.
Yeah.
I went to Football Reference and checked myself out.
I'm so glad Tony heard that.
Wait, what'd you say about Jay Cutler?
I said that's what Jay Cutler's waiting for. Fish was 69.
What else do we got here? Is this pronounced Jaron Reed for the Seahawks, or is it Jaron?
I believe it's drawn.
Okay, Jaron Reed was suspended for 6 games for an incident in 2017, and I'm sure Seahawks fans are wondering now why Tyreek Hill wasn't suspended at all, but this guy got 6 games.
Yeah. Also, Geddes, shut up.
Donnie, do you have anything to weigh in with on that?
So that's kind of crazy considering Reed wasn't like charged or
Right.
arrested
Mhm.
in that scenario. Also, that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not super sure. You would like to think the NFL has some kind of like new information brought up, and that's why they did it. But that would be giving them the benefit of the doubt, which is a terrible thing to do when it comes to that league.
Yeah.
So at least like on the field, I mean, he started all 16 games last year. I think he had like 10 and a half sacks. So I actually read an interesting stat about him. So after Frank Clark was traded to Kansas City, he was the only Seahawks player returning with more than 3 sacks last year.
More
and
than
now he's
3.
suspended.
Wow.
Yeah, he's suspended the first 6 games.
Which includes week 2 in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Very big for the Steelers. So thankfully they don't have to face that terrible defensive front.
Yeah. What else do we got here? The Cowboys released Allen Hurns, and I think he's already set to meet with a team. Is it the Dolphins?
Yeah, it's the Dolphins.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Kevin Byard signed an extension, 5 years, $70.5 million. The best safety you've ever heard of. Actually, if you haven't heard of him, then you're a casual, right, Donnie?
True.
Middle Tennessee
Very
State.
true.
Is that where he
one
went?
of
Yeah.
Yeah, so the secondary coach for Mid Tennessee State actually follows me on Twitter, and
What
we've
the-
had we've had conversations
Senior
about
Bowl.
him and stuff. So yeah, at Senior Bowl. So we've had like pretty good conversations about him. So he's the highest paid safety now in the league, and I want to point out that this dude's agent also manages Landon Collins and Earl Thomas, who also
wow.
got very handsomely paid in the offseason.
Man,
So
that dude's just getting DBs paid.
oh, dude. Instantly, yeah. And then Byard also has the most interceptions over the last 3 seasons. So.
Yeah.
This guy is the Scott Boras of the NFL. Except actually has good clients.
No, that'd be Drew Rosenhaus.
I forgot about him. Good point.
Also related to the Titans, though, Taylor Lewan, 4-game suspension. Is that official yet? Because I just wrote that in here, but I think it still doesn't have to like match a test or something like that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, so it's like unofficially official. The NFL hasn't announced it yet. Taylor Lewan just thought he would come out and just say it himself, so other people didn't drop the news and kind of like place it on him. It's weird because like he broke the news himself. I don't know if you guys know, but it was 4 games for PED usage, and he said he took a supplement that he was unaware that like wasn't banned because the NFL has like a list of like, hey, here's what you can take, here's what you can't take. Apparently, something that he was taking was like not on the list, and he didn't know about it. Which if you're like an NFL player, I would pretty goddamn sure hope you're making sure you know what you're taking.
Right.
So he came out and he's like, hey, I did this. And then he said he's going to appeal it because he's innocent, quote unquote.
Right.
And then he also went on to say that the substances were, quote, it's a flip of the coin. This doesn't make him look very good. I mean, PED users kind of have like a history of doing these kind of things where they kind of just like take the defense and they just see what happens.
Right.
So I would also like to point out, so he's suspended for the first 4 games. Tennessee's first 4 games include Cleveland, the Jaguars, Falcons, and the Colts.
Wow.
So he's going to be, sorry, not he, because he'll be suspended.
Yeah.
The Titans will be without their best offensive tackle for guys like Myles Garrett, Jabal Sheard, Justin Houston, and Calais Campbell.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Big
so
yikes.
Expect 4 straight losses.
Yes.
I mean, it's the Titans, so you should expect that anyway.
Yikes.
I mean, a
Marcus
lot of
Mariota's
people thought
gotta
the
run.
Titans were going to be like a decent team this year, and like
Depending
that all
on
starts with
Mariota,
Marcus,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that all starts with Marcus Mariota remaining upright, and if your best offensive lineman is out for 4 games, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh, man, thinking about like if he were there for those 4 games, think about the AFC South this year. Huh. I mean, I do want to do like divisional predictions at some point here soon, but that's a tough division to think about.
That is, yeah, and the 2 of the 4 games are division games, like I said, Colts and Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Last thing for the NFL, Melvin Gordon not at training camp.
Oh.
So, I mean, we kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah.
You know, he wants a trade or he wants paid. But, Donnie, how do you think that situation plays out?
To be really honest, I think this is a like exact copy of what Le'Veon Bell did last year. The Chargers, they're not gonna pay him significant money. I mean, how could you when you look at a guy like Todd Gurley who like just got paid, and now that man has arthritis in his knee and he's going to be deteriorating as time goes by. Running backs, they matter, but they're pretty easy to replace. I mean, they have 2 capable backs in Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, they actually were a slightly better offense with those 2 running the ball as opposed to like Melvin Gordon. But I mean, Melvin Gordon's he's a great player. He's one of the best 2-way running backs in the league. But apparently, Melvin Gordon's camp came out and said, "Hey, like he's super serious about this. Like he's not going to play." So I mean, if you're making me choose right now, I'm gonna say he's probably going to sit out for the rest of the year if they don't pay him.
So all I'm hearing is whenever we do the fantasy show, Austin Eckler is going to be one of the high buys.
Do not ruin
not
this.
Spoilers.
Well, Eckler's going to have the same role regardless. It's more like Justin Jackson's going to be shooting up the boards.
Remember when his mom wouldn't buy his jersey until he scored a touchdown?
It didn't happen the first season.
Eckler?
His rookie season was terrible.
Eckler?
No, Melvin Gordon. His mom wouldn't buy his jersey until he scored a touchdown.
Well, she's probably thinking it's going to happen week 1.
Hey! Speaking of which, we're giving away a jersey whenever Juju scores his first touchdown. So
first play of the season.
I hope.
First play from scrimmage.
I hope.
97 yards.
97 yards.
I was going to
what
say,
the hell was that kick return?
To be 84 for the culture.
Or no, wait. I see what you're saying now.
I like it. I like it, Beefy.
The Patriots are going to punt. That's what it is. We're not going to have the ball first.
No, Hayden's going to pick off Tom Brady.
At the 3.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
His toes down.
All right, so this is going to be interesting because every time that we've had Donnie on here, it's just been, kind of like we've actually been asking him questions. It's like a Q&A. Wasn't really, like the fourth member yet, obviously. So he would just stick around and talk football with us. And now we're about to talk about some other sports.
Now he's stuck in the shit.
And now we're gonna see. We're gonna see where this can go. So we'll talk about NHL first because MLB. It's very depressing. I have no idea where it's gonna go. I might have to walk away for a couple minutes when we start talking about it.
Okay, Herb.
But
wow.
in the NHL,
that's what you would do when we talk about college football.
No, I do other meaningful things like doing laundry.
But it was for a different reason. I'm going to be pissed and not be able to talk about something to walk away.
I just had no idea and still have no idea and can't talk about it.
Yeah.
You should go grab a fungo and beat a cinder block outside.
I should. Smitty, can I borrow that bat?
So, really the only thing like Penguins related, a new 2-year deal for Zach Aston Reese.
Yes.
Leaving Marcus Pettersson as the only unsigned restricted free agent remaining. Zach Aston Reese gets $1 million for each of the next 2 seasons. It's a one-way deal.
And we're over the cap.
Yeah, and now they're over the cap. I mean, I'm just waiting for this move, like the next trade, because I feel like we've been talking about it for weeks, and it just hasn't happened. And it's getting to the point where I'm just ready for it to happen so we can talk about it.
Thank you, Beefy.
I don't want to see necessarily, Brian Rust to trade because I love Brian Rust, but it's coming. So just do it.
Yeah.
Give us something to talk about on the show.
He's absolutely gone. I really do think they're trying to move Jack Johnson with him.
And then get Jake Gardner.
Yeah. Listen, I already. Hold on, let me pull it up.
You pulled up you made a jersey?
Let me.
A custom jersey?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Is it 51?
Yes. Yes. Put it right in the camera.
That means if you bought a Derek Pouliot jersey, then you could just switch the nameplate. Pouliot was 51, right?
So that's
Yeah, he was. I
Yeah.
did not get his jersey.
So that's what that jersey's going to
I
look
got a Craig
like.
Adams jersey, but not his.
I really want, Jeff to speak that into existence.
Jeff, keep it going. If you're listening, keep it going.
I saw someone else tweet it, too,
well, so
saying they were connected to him.
that Eklund or whatever tweeted about it, and people have been taking that screenshot and saying, okay, well, this means it's definitely not happening.
Yeah.
But I guess, they were saying, if you want to take – I don't believe anything that this person says, but they were saying that the Penguins are one of 3 teams that are involved with him. And it is, interesting that, you can connect the dots the way that Jeff did. It definitely makes sense. The fact that there's really nothing coming from his camp – and the Penguins, have to make moves to make it work. So there could be an agreement in place once we do these things.
The fact that Jeff's whole thing was in a drunken conspiracy theory riddled night
makes me believe it more than if he were sober.
The logic was so much better than he thought.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, typically you do, a handshake agreement makes sense in this scenario where, like I just said, the Penguins obviously need an upgrade on defense. They're trying to move money out, and you haven't heard anything from Jake Gardner's camp, which doesn't make any type of sense because right now, where the market's at, it's basically catered to him.
So let me ask you real quick, Beefy, I might need you to look this up. Rust makes 3.5?
Yes. So does Jack Johnson.
They both make 3.5.
Yeah.
So you immediately clear $7 million.
You don't even need to get a return on those guys.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because you have the guy that's going to replace.
So basically, pull like a Sherry and Hunwick.
Yeah, you have the guy that's going to replace Rust.
Yeah.
Already here.
Yes.
And obviously,
if not in the minors, because I think we do have a couple guys that can replace him very easily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the forwards are there. I mean, obviously, I love Brian Rust, but he's not worth paying $3.5 million with the way that the roster looks right now because he's a guy that's capable of playing in the top 6, but he's not going to play in our top 6.
6.75, by the way, not 7. Jack Johnson makes 3.25.
Ah, okay. So $1 million of that, well, not quite $1 million of that is already theoretically taken up by Czar. Let's say Pettersson makes the same amount.
As what?
Czar.
Even
on a 1-2 year deal?
I think he makes 800,000 or 900,000.
Really?
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. That's
I
generally how it goes.
think he's gonna get a decent amount of money.
I thought they were gonna give him I thought they might give him what do you call him?
Like a bridge deal.
Yeah.
But people I would have thought the same thing, but most of what I've been seeing is talking about wanting to get something done longer term. Jim Rutherford loves him.
I love him too.
Sullivan loves him.
I love him too.
I
still think he needs to prove himself to be paid.
When I say paid, I'm not talking anything ridiculous. I'm thinking between $2 and $3 million.
So about Jack Johnson's salary. somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess close to. So yeah, that could negate that, I guess.
So what I was thinking was about the same as Czar, like maybe 2 years, 1.25.
I mean, if they do that, to me, that's
magical.
yeah, that's a steal.
Okay, so right now we're 200,000 over. So if we have 6.75, then that 6.55, and then take out how much for Pedersen?
Let's say 1.25 just for the sake of it.
Okay, then that goes down to roughly 4.25. Does that sign
No.
Jake Gardner? No.
No. Unless it's a 1 year
you
deal.
wouldn't
no.
think so, unless he wants to prove that back is right
yeah.
on like a 1 year deal.
I
Yeah.
just thought about that. Yeah.
But I wouldn't think so. I think that with the way that his market is set up, like I said, he's in a position where a team like, the Canadians, who he's been often linked to, it's been like the Canadians as of recently, the Penguins, I don't know how much smoke's there, in the Wild.
What happens if they do move Rust and Johnson, and for the sake of this whole humoring Gardner, what if they move Schultz too?
All right. Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what the idea that was coming into my mind was moving Schultz, because you have
This is why Donnie comes to me for hockey.
you have a couple other guys that are right now healthy scratches that you feel like can play in your six.
Yeah.
And Juuso Riikola and Chad Ruhwedel.
Absolutely.
So
Ricola
I mean,
maybe less than Ruhwedel.
in
but
giving up Schultz, who's on
Oh.
a 1 year deal, for too much money for what he's looked like the past 2 seasons. I
Yeah.
mean, it was unfortunate with a broken leg and everything. I still really like Justin Schultz, but I mean, if you are trading him to basically give Gardner a similar cap number to that, and it'd be, for more than just this year or whatever.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I know Schultz is a righty shot, which changes things.
That was the only thing I was going to say.
But I don't know.
find that to not be as big of an issue as people think.
I think it does whenever you're playing on a specific side of the defense.
It's going to matter for basically one person. One person has to
Yeah.
be comfortable with it,
Yeah.
and then it's fine.
Gardner's played on his offside, right?
I don't even know what's his onside.
I think he's left. Or wait, no,
He-
is he right?
No, he is a lefty.
Okay, he's a lefty.
But anyway, that was just wow. I can't believe that branched off like that, because it originally just started with Czar's contract. But yeah, so Marcus Pettersson's the only
This is what happens on Around the Four when we
Remaining.
get to hockey. It just
remaining RFA that they have.
Free Juuso Riikola.
yeah, that was me last season.
He's
Now I'm
he's
just
such
kinda
a
like
good
he's-
skater.
Yeah,
Like,
but he gets his face caved in the defensive zone.
yeah, but I mean,
I feel like part of that was playing with Jack Johnson.
first year in the NHL, playing with
Yeah.
Jack Johnson, in and out of the lineup. I mean,
yeah, constantly.
I think he's. I'm glad that they brought him back.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. 'Cause
I
I
still
feel like
say
he's worth
free
another
Chad
look.
Ruhwedel.
And I think he's better than being the 7th or 8th defenseman.
Anywhere else in the league, he'd be
Which
probably.
is, I thought he was gone, but
oh yeah, me too. I'm surprised he stayed. He's been
Yeah, he took league minimum, 700,000.
2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy about it. Don't
because
get me wrong.
I mean,
he must like
we know
Pittsburgh.
we're gonna have
Yeah.
injuries. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, Chris Letang's on the team. Okay.
Crystal Tang's on the team. I'm a right-handed shot. Yeah, I'll resign.
You're like that's a minimum 20 games we're gonna play.
Just hopefully not in the playoffs.
Well,
Um,
Ryan's here.
Speaking of a right-handed shot on defense, Jake Trouba got his deal.
Yeah.
7
he
years,
is.
$56 million. And you want to talk about a team that now has to figure out a way to free up money? Like the Pens are in a bad
Crunch,
cap
yeah.
situation, but look at the Rangers now.
Yeah. Do you think Lundqvist goes?
No.
I think he ghosts.
He hosts.
I think Kreider goes, and I
Ah.
think Nemestikov goes.
I forgot Nemestikov was there. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Would they have like I think they signed one of their RFAs, but they still have 3 more.
Yeah. I can't remember who the other one is though.
Well, they have Lemieux,
Oh yeah, they got him in that trade.
D'Angelo.
Is he an RFA?
I thought he was. I'm trying to think of the names that. Vucinovic.
Ah, yeah. Who's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, they might actually trade. I saw a thing about like trading his
Right.
RFA rights. Yeah, for somebody to re-sign him.
I mean, if that's what you have to do.
Yeah. So Lemieux, Vucinovic, and D'Angelo.
Huh.
So I don't know how much money those 3 combined would get, but Yeah, I think Chris Kreider is as good as gone. That's the name I've seen most.
I have a question. This just popped into my head. Let's just say somebody or Jack Johnson's kneecaps just break. How
Okay,
Who did you
Angelo.
hire?
how does this help the Leafs cap situation to send him there to put on LTIR?
Oh, I was like, what?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know why he's not in Ottawa already. They already said they take dead contracts to get the floor.
Well, it's not dead. That's why.
Well, bad contracts.
Yeah.
To meet the floor.
Maybe it's that bad.
We have a few that we'd like you to take. But yeah, so be interesting to see what the Rangers do there. Anyway, Trouba, 7 years, $56 million. Kind of sets the market, I guess, for some of the right-handed defensemen that go on the market next year.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a decent amount of right-handed defensemen that go on the market next year.
Including Schultz.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that.
But Trouba's 25. Schultz is going to be 30.
Yeah.
Alex
But
Pietrangelo.
Petrangelo's there.
Man. Next FA class is gonna be nice.
Petrangelo Penguin.
Hopefully.
What a trade happened. Milan Lucic for James Neal.
I forgot about that.
Who's that deal better for?
The Oilers. The Oilers so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter, even if
I'm not happy if I'm either team.
James
but
No.
James Neal scored 5 goals last year? Doesn't even matter.
Wasn't he also shooting like 5%?
Might have been less
I don't know
than
about that, but I was saying, but it was like not that saying that he did shoot back up to 20 goals, but he
I know.
had scored 20 goals like each of the last 6 or 7 seasons before that.
Playing on a wing with either McDavid, Draisaitl, or Nugent Hopkins. Yeah. You're gonna score.
Hop Nugent.
Said Nuge.
Send Nuge.
I forgot about that shirt. Oh wow.
He had 7 goals last year at 5.1 million. It doesn't even matter because he's not Milan Lucic.
Yeah,
Makes your team better.
Kinda,
Yeah.
Lucic makes 7.1 or 7.2?
I don't know.
So what? A pick was included for Calgary.
Yeah, but it's some very convoluted thing. It's a 4th round pick.
So why'd they do it?
It's the NHL. GMs are stupid.
I'm just why would you give up, I guess, somewhat upside in James Neal for nothing in Lucic?
I don't know. Spark
Doing
team
the
because-
fellow Alberta team a favor. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
if
we
you
know
do,
how the
hey, if you
Flames
do
are.
this, we'll trade you McDavid sometime.
The Flames are very reactionary. So
He
I mean-
shot exactly 5%
wow,
last year.
wow, I got that right on the head.
The Flames were probably like, listen, I mean, we like our chances to make the playoffs again anyway.
Yeah.
Edmonton, we need more Canadian teams in the playoffs. We'll try to help you out a little bit. This is what we can do.
Donnie, I'm kind of curious to hear your say on this. How do you feel about?
I don't.
Well, no,
I
no.
don't have very much, so I will give you my own personal spiel on this.
I had a different
I
question.
am not a fan of James Neal.
Nice.
I've never liked him since he disappeared in the playoffs for Pittsburgh before
that's
he
right.
left. So he's been kind of on my shit list. And he was on that Nashville team that lost to Pittsburgh in the Cup Finals, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Good on him. I know he had a pretty decent postseason last year, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Last year,
He didn't make
No,
it.
when he was with Vegas.
I would say maybe the season before
Oh,
that.
yeah, with
Last
Vegas.
year, Calgary got swept. Or no, they didn't.
But
get swept,
wait, are you
but-
considering that? He might be considering that this season because it just.
Sorry, this season, the 2018 Cup run.
So yeah,
2019. Sorry,
2019 he did not have a good playoff.
Yeah,
2018 when he was with Vegas and they lost the
did.
Cup. Yeah,
the whole team had a good.
he had a good
That's
season.
right.
He had a good season. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that he wasn't going to be there past that year.
That's right.
There was talk even with them being good that they would still trade him at the deadline. They just didn't. They just decided, we'll keep him as our own rental.
Scored 19 goals.
I'm gonna ask this, I'm gonna say this is Donardo. Donardo, I'll tell you the same thing as Geddes. Shut up.
What was your question?
So, Donnie,
Yes.
how do you feel about a hard cap in a sports league?
So a hard cap like the NFL hard cap?
I didn't know the NFL had a hard cap, but sure. Let's say like the NHL, they have a very hard cap. I assume the NFL is probably about the same way. So,
I mean, I kind of prefer it in terms of like competitive play. If you want to keep like the whole league competitive per se, I mean, you look at like a place like the NBA where they don't necessarily have like hard cap, or even like baseball. You know, people who are willing to spend money more oftentimes than not, if they're going to find a way to get a better team, you know, on the diamond or on the court. So in terms of like competitiveness, I'm for it. But I mean, at the same time, if you've got money just like laying around, you know, why not be able to use it? So I understand in terms of just, you know, wanting to keep people interested, and I guess that's why said hard cap exists. But yeah, my thoughts.
So, like, my thing with it is, I mean, you know, as a Pirate fan, you know, I'm obviously a little biased where I wish that we were able to, you know, compete financially with some of these other teams. At the same time, I look at it as, you know, and should I care how many millions millionaires have or how many billions billionaires have?
No.
But the only thing that a hard cap does is put more money in the owner's pockets.
Yeah.
Because they can only spend a certain amount. Anything over that, that's the owners.
That is true.
So that would be the one thing for me that kind of goes against it. But at the same time, those people
When
are
your
rich
team
anyway.
doesn't spend anyway, it doesn't matter.
Those people are going to be rich regardless. So like, do I care whether it's $2 billion or $3 billion? What does it matter?
Also, North Shore 9, Trash Cats. You guys aren't viewers. You're co-workers.
What are they saying?
Co-workers.
Because I told them to shut up, and they're like, we would never.
Okay, so, well, you know, we just brought up Vegas being an expansion team and everything as they were the last couple of years. Ron Francis will be the first GM for the Seattle franchise.
I want a name already.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They don't have a name.
No.
Can we have the Cyclones so we have the Hurricanes and the Cyclones, please?
Both under Ron Francis.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seattle Cyclones?
I thought about Seattle Storm because it's always rainy in Seattle.
Mhm.
Someone online said Kraken.
I like the Kraken.
Crackheads.
Jesus.
Crackheads.
Supersonics.
Crackheads.
All right,
Don't talk about my family.
I said, why don't you just go with Supersonics, like the NBA franchise?
No, because the NBA is bringing back the Supersonics in a couple of years.
Yeah, when OKC moves back.
When the Orlando Magic move there.
Good point.
Phoenix Suns.
Dude, probably.
Who is the NBA team in the most trouble?
Like if you're asking me like one team that kind of picked to like get moved, I would definitely say the Suns or the Magic right now.
Yeah.
Also, yes, the Storm is a WNBA team. I can't remember what city, though, Donardo.
Seattle.
DiNardo.
Really?
Who cares?
I think so.
Oh.
All that means is that a WNBA team has to change their name.
Jeez.
I'm sure the 5 people that watch won't notice.
Just give the team like $10 and buy them out.
We're changing the entrance to the show. Welcome to another episode Around the 412. Two Sexist and Herb.
This isn't helping my sexist. Like everybody thinks I'm sexist, but no one cares about the WNBA.
No one knows when the season is. No one knows when the playoffs are. The only reason I know that the All-Star game is coming up is because it's showed on the bottom ticker of ESPN.
Clip it.
I can't.
Clip it and
cannot,
tweet it.
I cannot name one WNBA player.
Brittany Griner. That's it.
No idea who that is.
You don't know who Brittany Griner is.
What?
Never heard of her.
She pays child support.
Actually, I did not know that.
What does that have to
She's
do with
legit.
anything?
She's legit a dude.
Oh, well, this took a turn.
Not really. Not legit. But
either
like
way,
legit.
I have no idea.
She's
who
not
this is.
legit. She's legit though.
You're a sexist. I don't care, trash cats. The WNBA sucks. It's like the complete opposite of soccer in America. Soccer.
Listen, the title of this episode, we're sexist? Question mark.
The
We're gonna see how
WNBA
many
sucks,
clicks it gets.
which is the opposite of soccer. The women's national team is like the top.
I could watch.
I could watch them all the
soccer
time.
all day.
And the men's national team, even though I'll watch them, they're just not as good.
Yeah.
Like in
Trash.
compared to their competition as
They're
the women's
trash
national
cats.
team. But it's the opposite. NBA, great. WNBA, I would rather watch a high school basketball game.
Ooh,
High school.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Bantam, like 5th grade.
So
Like it's not fun to watch. Like I'll never I make fun of the WNBA because I saw someone on it was like you know how like people will go on a breakaway in the NBA and they'll dunk it. Someone did like a 360 layup in the WNBA, and I got so triggered. It's like this is so shit.
Time out. Do they have a dunk contest?
No.
How could
Do they have a layup contest?
Yeah.
Please no.
I know they have a
Beefy,
3-point
don't
contest.
you play 2K to sprite layup cam?
I don't play 2K.
The
He makes a
Sprite
great
layup
point.
cam.
Wow.
Wait, isn't in the new NBA 2K20?
There's going to be
WNBA
women.
teams. Yeah.
So it's gonna be NBA Live, I believe. So they'll have the WNBA.
Oh,
Like-
Okay.
The memes that are always like, would you rather have your local WNBA team win a championship
Or
or
$5.
fine $5? Give me the $5 because I can't even name a WNBA team.
Jeez. So what
The
you're telling
Minnesota
me?
Lynx.
So what you're telling me?
The only thing, actually, I do.
How
some-
many times do I have to get cut off?
Someone from Hopewell is in the WNBA. She went to Maryland for college basketball.
Shatori.
Shatori Walker.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The only reason I know that is because, Alex Neely, his sister, did something with her, and she has
She's like a camp or something, probably.
Yeah, she did a camp with her, and she has signed shoes from her.
So what you're telling me is the WNBA, watching that is about the same as watching a game between the New York Giants and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, it's way worse.
It's the same as watching trash cats play video games.
Joke to piss
No.
off Dennis.
No, I get that.
It's like watching Geddes play NHL.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, last thing in hockey real quick. We got totally off track.
Yeah, how are we
The
talking about
WNBA is not a topic on this list. The Blues hired Mark Savard, who Matt Cook pretty much ended his career.
Yeah.
But
Beefy
I
hates
don't-
women's sports.
BV hates
That's
women.
a lie.
I
That is a
agree.
lie.
That is the title of the episode.
I love. Okay, hold on. Before we moved on, women's sports I like. I love swimming in the Olympics. I love gymnastics
I
in the
love
Olympics.
gymnastics.
I like
Okay,
volleyball.
Pause. But I do love volleyball. Volleyball is sick. I love the U.S. women's national team.
Women's
I like
golf?
watching women's hockey. I don't really watch golf. I love watching women's tennis. Literally, I watch so many women's sports. Except the WNBA is just such a shit product. That's why nobody cares about it.
So
All right, I like women's sports. Move on.
So what you're telling me is Tyler's not a fan of women. He just likes to watch.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Go ahead, clickbait it. I don't care.
Oh man.
It's 100% going to be used as clickbait.
Welcome to Fortnite Funny. Anyway, that was everything in hockey. I guess that was all hockey.
The WNBA sucks. That's everything in hockey.
I guess that was hockey related. Okay, so MLB stuff. I'm gonna save the Pirates for last because
Turn down the lights,
Women's
get a
skiing.
beer, and get ready to be sad.
Figure skating.
Oh, we get
I'm
it.
just thinking of other sports I watch women in, and I like it.
So wherever you're at right
Make it
now,
worse for yourself.
wherever you're at right now, turn off all the lights. Open a bottle of whiskey.
Oh, I can do that.
And pull out your revolver and
Put on what the?
Your
Put on your sunglasses.
Mine are in my bag.
We're gonna talk about the Pirates, but actually first,
that's why you pull out the revolver.
the Mets are going to be open for business.
Yes, they are.
Thor, gone. They're open to trading Edwin Diaz.
Oh, man, that trade backfired.
I don't know about anybody else, but they'll probably listen on just about everybody. But those
Yeah,
are like
except
two
for-
big names.
Except for Pete Alonso.
Well, of course.
Well, you never know.
I mean, if he's available.
Josh Bell?
Puig has emerged as a potential trade candidate.
Yeah. He also shaved his mustache in the middle of a game the other day.
By the way, those Reds jerseys are stupid.
I like him.
They are stupid.
Okay.
Wear an undershirt with them, if anything.
Okay.
He's jacked though.
He is.
But what about when Griffey did the sleeveless shirt and everyone loved it?
Yeah, but you're not Ken Griffey Jr.
So you're
no,
telling me you have to have
I didn't even know. I probably wouldn't like it. I just don't like the
I
sleeveless.
probably wouldn't like
Well,
it.
back
either.
in the
I'm just saying.
90s, whenever they did or the 99 when they did the turn ahead the clocks.
Okay, I know what those jerseys are. I
Yeah.
didn't realize he didn't wear sleeves under.
Yeah, he didn't have sleeves and he didn't have like an undershirt.
I don't like the look.
Okay.
Not to have anything like against guys doing it. I'm not saying from like a old school perspective or anything like that. I just don't like the way it looks. But
See, I like it. I like the vest jerseys, period. Wear them however you want. Just don't have a goddamn I can't remember what they're called. I'm blanking so hard.
What?
They had weights in the dugout.
They were curling.
Yeah. Don't curl in the dugout.
Lorenzen handed it to Dietrich. Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. I like Derek Dietrich. He just sucks at baseball sometimes.
Griffey kind of had sleeves. They were just very short.
Oh.
He's hitting under like 200 now.
Yeah,
Like, it's not part of the tank top.
Yeah.
But it was just very short.
That's just like that's a tank top from the 90s underneath it.
But it still stands. He's not big as in Credit Griffey Jr., and yes, there is a bias.
The Rockies listening on Charlie Blackmon.
I'm not surprised.
The problem with that is whoever he gets traded to is going to realize soon that he's not the same player away from tours.
Yeah. Man, if only people just bought on DJ LeMahieu, but had to
So-
get him to the Yankees.
Damn it, I'm running out of things that aren't Pirates. We're going to talk about them soon.
Mad Bum
Not
is
going anywhere.
not going to go anywhere.
The Giants, what the
Probably.
Giants did this year is basically what the Pirates did last year.
Yeah.
They won to the point where they
that-
couldn't justifiably sell.
And that franchise is at a much worse point than the Pirates were last year. They don't have
Their
any
manager's on the way
prospects.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, their manager's on the way out. They have no farm. They're a relatively old team.
Yeah. They're boned. They're going to be in the basement for a while.
And they're winning. I don't know how. I mean, they have one of the worst outfields in baseball. That could. I mean, if they're not going to sell, maybe they'll buy. That could be a team maybe for Melty or Dickerson. But anyway,
Or Nomar Maraza, who probably is not going to get traded now because Joey Gallo broke his hand.
yeah.
But I found that so funny last night. That's the only reason I texted you. Like 2 minutes before it actually came out, I tweeted, I wonder what it would take to get Nomar Maraza. 2 minutes later, teams are interested in Nomar Maraza. Mazzaro, sorry.
Garrett Cole, second fastest pitcher since 1900 to record 200 strikeouts in a season.
Wow.
Randy Johnson did it faster.
Yeah, but not by much.
Yeah, but Astros fans don't like him.
I mean, some people up here didn't like him either.
Once he gets an extension, people will probably like him.
Do you think he's going to resign?
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying if he were to get an extension.
Oh.
I don't think he does. I think he goes to LA. I said this to him actually.
I have a dark horse that David informed me on.
Was it a big market?
Probably.
Probably.
The Braves.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
think they have
like
a mid-market.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big-ass city.
yeah.
Also, is Donnie still alive?
No.
Okay, cool.
He's just
So
listening to
I'm
the
watching
chaos.
you guys on Twitch right now,
Oh,
and
lit.
I guess I didn't have Twitch account, so
So
I
you're
decided to
making
make
one.
one. So one more sub, boys.
Hey, we're over 100 followers now.
Yeah, that's true.
Are we?
Mainly do
Nice.
that giveaway.
Bots.
But anyway, yeah, I mean that's actually going to be something that we talk about. Once the season does come to an end, I kind of want to do like a top free agents prediction. But like if you're asking me right now, I think I'm going with LA, and that's actually the Dodgers are number. But I could even see the Angels. Like I think either LA team, to be honest. I think it's about time that the Angels actually bring in some pitching.
The Angels need to step up.
Yeah.
They really do.
They committed now to Trout, and he committed to them.
I'll say
They
Mike
have
Trout
Ohtani.
deserves better.
So
They have Ohtani. They have Justin Bour.
Who Ohtani will be back from Tommy John next year too.
Justin Upton, Angelton Simmons. I mean, it's a decent
Tommy
team.
La Stella out of nowhere.
Yeah, if he's not just like a 1 year
Mhm.
thing, and you give that team some pitching,
Need some back end help in catching. You probably need an upgrade over Cole Calhoun.
yeah. Well, you said catching. They need an upgrade over Lucroy, even when Lucroy's out
May I
there.
interest
but
you in one Francisco Cervelli?
No, you cannot answer.
No. People want him traded, and I'm like, you're not going to get anything. He's playing third base as a backup for us this year. I guarantee it.
I mean, if we weren't so terrible to the point where it didn't matter, I would insert him back into catcher with what we've got in there.
Do you think Jung Ho Gung is traded?
No,
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't. What the hell are you getting for him? In a
I
trade?
don't know. I just think at this point they might
Some
actually
season
fire
tickets.
Sale. Yeah.
Speaking of season tickets, I actually got an email from the Pirates about season tickets.
I think I
Today.
did too.
Like it was something about a complimentary, like meet and greet type
Yeah,
thing before a game on the second,
Yeah.
and then like
It was
they
like
wanted to talk to
free
you about
beer and
packages.
nachos on us. Yeah.
About packages for the rest of this season or next season. And I'm like, this timing couldn't be worse. Donnie Drew is now following you on Twitch. Hey, thanks.
Hey, that's me.
You couldn't. I don't think you could pay me to get season tickets for the Pirates.
Nice to know.
I mean, just they would pay you and you don't necessarily have to go.
I
that's
find
true.
it,
That's true.
I find it more fun to go to Pirate games whenever they're getting their ass beat.
You don't have to care.
You don't care, and you get all the people that go because they just want to get drunk and heckle people. And that's how you get people throwing beer in cops' faces and being slammed into the wall.
I was never mad about baseball until 2013. Before that, I never got mad at baseball.
I was mad up until this season, like in general.
But I'm saying 2013 to now, I get mad about baseball. But before that, when we all sucked, I didn't care.
I told Jamal we were talking about this because, I stumbled, I get into these like deep holes on YouTube where I'm just watching random videos.
Pause.
You've got me on that one.
Yeah. And I was watching like old Pirates videos from like when they were in the playoffs and stuff. And it's just like those playoffs, 13, 14, 15, just like the seasons in general, not necessarily just the playoffs, but the playoff years, those are like my best memories of sports, like including the Steelers and the Penguins, even though I've seen them win championships. Like there was just something about the Pirates being good that was
the
different.
13 run was unlike any other season we've seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the 2015, that was the third year in a row that I had season tickets, and it was just every night going to the yard, you just expected a win.
Yeah.
Like
If you had a lead going to the seventh inning,
It was
won.
over. Yeah.
and you had,
Especially later in the season with Soria.
Yeah.
and later in the season when they got Hap, it was like the rotation on 4 out of the 5 nights, you were throwing out Cole, Liriano, Hap, or AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Who was the fifth?
Morton.
Man.
Or Locke.
Yeah.
Man.
Once they got Hap, there was like 6 starters basically. Yeah.
So I agree with you on that, but that's because I'm one of the few people in the city under the age of like 50 that their first team in the city they fell in love with was the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I get mad at now is everybody's just like, they suck. Let's go watch a team that's good. No, that's not being a fan. That's called you're a bitch and just want to win.
Yeah, I mean,
A little bit of both.
I can't. I don't get how, as a fan, like if you can actually walk away from a team because they're not like that's being a fan it's hard. It's
Being
not
a
easy.
fan
It's not
is-
supposed to be easy.
Being a fan,
Like-
you're supposed to be there.
Regardless of whether you win or lose, you can't get to a point, I don't think,
Unless you're a fan of Alabama.
where you just walk away from that team.
Roll
Then you're
Tide.
not a fan.
Roll
Nice.
Tide.
Yeah, then you're not a fan. In my opinion, you're not a fan. If you like have to be, not connected with them for whatever reason, I don't know what a reason it would be. If you can think of one, just spit one out there. Sure, but if you're just like, hey, this team sucks now, please don't come back.
I mean, I'm not here to tell anybody how to be a fan. I'm
here to tell people how to be a fan.
The point that I guess I was getting at was being an actual fan. It shouldn't be that easy to just walk away from
Yeah, exactly.
loving the team because of their success.
Yeah. Now, I do want to say this since we're on the topic of past postseasons. Imagine if any year, 2013 through 15, we had the bats that we have right now and the offense we have right now with the pitching we had then. Probably World Series champions. in
Well, the
2015.
offense hasn't been great since the All-Star break. But
Well, I mean, still, the average is what, like 6 runs a game?
I don't know.
I think it's
Is
5
the
or
season
6.
as a whole?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I mean,
But
even in the past,
I just
imagine
said-
if we got past Jake Arrieta.
I
Yeah.
just said, not even looking at it like
Imagine
that.
if Burnett pitched good in Game
Ooh,
4.
Rough times.
I'm just thinking insert, who knows what Josh Bell is now. But, like, the season that Josh Bell's had at first base for the 2015 team. That in itself would be crazy. The 2015
Yeah.
Pirates plus this year's Josh Bell.
Yeah, exactly.
You had a career year, really. Cervelli was really good last year, though, too. But anyway, Cervelli in 15. Kutch was still an all-star. Marte was good. Polanco was about average, obviously.
It was his second year in the league.
Mercer was Mercer, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know who. Maybe if you put Kevin Newman from this year at shortstop.
Imagine
on
if
that
Gung
team?
doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, if Gung doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
That could change. We could win. We could beat the Cardinals and go to the NLCS or DS.
Yeah.
Now, rewinding a little bit because I woke up with a text from you about Mrazza, and you said, imagine trading for an outfielder when you don't need outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
My thought process last night, and not looking into the minors, was Dickerson and Melky are gone.
Yeah.
People don't want Polanco on the team, and his injuries are probably getting to the point where. So Mrazza has length, and he's a block for at least 20 home runs. Pirates do kind of need that. As much as I am the guy, I won a bunch of 300 hitters on my team. And
I was just say he's also never had a 100 WRC plus, which is league average.
Didn't even look at that.
Yeah.
He did have one season, his 22-year-old season, with 101 RBIs.
Yeah, I think his high was 97.
Yeah. He hasn't quite been what people thought he would be when he came up. Credit, he came up at 21. But I do like him as a player, and I'd like to see him outside of the Rangers organization.
Well, yeah, and you feel like with that power, PNC would probably be a pretty good place for him to hit.
He hit a ball 505 feet last month.
Yeah.
Where would that land in the Allegheny?
It would be on the fly, but
it might be halfway across the river.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely interesting, even without, like you said, with the pending guys leaving, and even if you take Polanco out of the equation, I feel like the Pirates are still pretty confident with what they have in the organization.
Yeah,
that they're probably not going to bring in any other outfielders. But it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, it just randomly popped in my head. I had absolutely no inclination or reasoning to think of that, and I did.
Yeah.
Do you know what this means? Beefy is the Goodwin of around the 4-2.
You're always in your phone.
Goodwin holds his phone the entire time.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's probably it.
I mean, Beefy is the lookup guy.
I say, well, half the time I'm looking something up. Like that just now, I was looking up the Pirates runs per game,
which somebody replied in the chat. I think it was No Show 9.
What is it?
4.68.
18th. Yeah, there was
17th.
Or 17th.
Bought.
Oh, they said 18th.
Well, it's 17th. At home.
It changed.
Yeah.
At home, it is. What is that? It doesn't change
They've
the
been
rankings.
horrible
1, 2,
at home
3,
this year.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're 10th. 5.04.
Oh, wow.
Well, so they can score.
like
They can score runs, but they just give up
I
too
feel like
many
they're
at
giving
home.
up more. Yeah, I would say I feel like they're giving up more at home than on the road.
Yeah.
Though.
Because, like, the way the season has gone is April was, oh, wow, this team can actually hold their own.
Goodwin is just texting girls.
May was, oh, no, this is hell because the bullpen just imploded. June was Josh Bell's a god. Oh, wait, no, that was May.
No, that was May.
That was May that Josh Bell's a god. June was, okay, there's a chance. July is now the starting pitching is just shot. Like, the bullpen has been fine this month. They've been one of the better bullpens in the league. The whole rotation has just been garbage. And now with Tyone probably being done for the year.
And next season.
If he needs TJ, I don't think he comes back at all.
I don't even want to speculate on that, just because I feel like it's not fair.
It's definitely not fair.
But yeah, I don't even know what to say about that other than it's very unfortunate. It'd be a second Tommy John.
Yeah.
There's a short list of people that have had 2 Tommy John surgeries. So
The thing that sucks about the Pirates is that the offense right now can score 6 to 8 runs a night, but it doesn't matter because you're giving up 10 plus.
the only game that they scored runs in this past series with the Cardinals would have been enough to win any of the other 3, but they gave up the
14.
14 in it.
Yeah.
Gave up 9 in the second inning.
So at the beginning of the year, we knew the pitching was going to be decent. The question mark was the offense. It's completely reversed itself.
Which obviously with the loss of Tyone, everybody's been hurt at some point.
The bullpen
in the
just
rotation.
imploding.
But yeah, it's crazy how that happened because I always said, give me the pitching. I would rather have the pitching first.
Yeah.
And obviously the defense too is goes hand in hand with the pitching.
They need to address
they don't
that
have
badly.
that either.
Yeah.
But and then give me a team that can try to find a way to scrap out a couple runs a night for their pitchers.
Yeah.
I would rather have that than, the offense that can score 8 to 10 but give up 13 to 15.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
And it's a shame because, like you said at the beginning of the year, you felt like, 1 through 5, especially with the way Laos looked at the beginning of the year, which was a nice surprise, that, that was going to be the strength as we thought. And, hey, maybe they can compete, depending on what you can get somehow from the offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but ever since the first month, Lyles has not been an MLB pitcher. Remember when that dude?
What was your tweet the other? Oh, sorry.
Remember that dude that got in an argument with I guess you and I a couple weeks ago when I said Lyles was getting progressively worse, and he was like,
he
"No,
said
he
something
isn't."
about 2 starts. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, I thought about this earlier. I'm like, I should find that tweet and just be like, "So, bud, how
Yeah.
are you?
What was your tweet the other night? Was it last night?
Yeah.
The Pirates playoffs chances?"
No, it was you just saying Laos like flat out sucks.
Yeah. I was.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there's no way to sugarcoat it.
No.
There isn't.
Sorry, Jeff. I had to say it.
I mean, Lyles knows it too. Have you heard his pressers?
Not after this last game.
He sounds
but-
so lost.
Yeah.
He has no idea what to do.
I mean, it's a shame. Like, I mean, it sucks because I'm not. When we talk about these guys, it's obviously not on a personal level, but we're just talking about what they're contributing to the team. And and right now, it's absolutely nothing. I mean, it's hurting the team in multiple ways. One, you're not giving them a chance to win. Two, you're burning through guys' arms in the bullpen, and a guy like Luis Escobar now lost his MLB job because of it.
Yeah.
Because he had to go down because he wouldn't be able to pitch up here for God knows
days.
how many days.
Yeah.
So, see ya, you had to go back down to AAA because we had to call somebody else up who now he had to pitch today. And actually, McRae was
Solid.
but I was just say
Came in.
he
yeah.
was he had to do that. He was in a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was
Oh yeah.
where McRae ended up
Yeah.
being that guy. He was a casualty.
Yep. I can't
Earlier in the
remember
season.
who was brought up for him, but yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's a lost season at this point. It's a shame because obviously like injuries did play a role.
Huge role.
But I mean, we're at the point now where they've won 2 games since the All-Star break, and they're only in front of the Marlins in the NL. Like, it's just crazy how they were 2.5 back going into the All-Star break, and now here we are.
Yeah.
First of all,
As for the person in the chat asking about McRae, he was semi-serviceable. He's had games where he's just gotten absolutely shelled, and I'm not sure what contributes to that. But he's kind of like he's better than Clay Holmes, is how I'll describe it.
I don't know. Because I think Clay Holmes gives you strikeout upside, although he's ridiculously wild.
Bingo.
I'm with Evil Neil where I just don't see any type of upside from McRae. Like, I just think he's an arm. I don't think there's, like, Tampa just recently DFA'd a pitcher who, once again, I'm kind of defaulting to Evil Neil on this.
Yeah.
He feels like has more upside than McRae. So, yeah, I would DFA McRae, get him off the 40-man, and get somebody else on it because other than just being a guy that you can bring in and give you a couple innings, he'll probably give up some runs in those innings.
Yeah.
I don't see value. He's a AAA starter basically.
Quad A player.
Yeah, quad A player, but he's to be a AAA starter for most of his time in the organization.
Yeah. As for this team's defense, at least moving forward.
Oh God. Yeah.
At least moving forward, I think there is reason to have hope, at least in the infield.
Oh, you're talking about when Hayes is at third. Yeah, Tucker.
That's why I think they are going to try to move Gung. Just because at this point I'm just saying take what you can with him, whatever you get, good. Have Hayes come up, start every once in a while. Let Moran finish out this year. Next year, go in with Hayes generally getting the majority of starts. I still like Moran. Love Moran.
Had you asked me if I thought Gunn would get DFA'd, I would say yes before a trade.
Ooh.
That's what I would, because I don't see him getting traded. If you were to ask me, does he finish the season on the Pirates roster, I would say no.
I can get behind that.
over under 5% chance that Hurdle is fired.
Under.
During the season? Either way, I don't think it happens, but that changes the percentage for me.
So, depending on how this last portion of the season goes, I think Searage is done. I think majority.
Jamal and I were talking about it. I mean, it was pretty much a joke, but I said when the pitchers actually aren't this bad, they're just tanking and you get Searage fired.
I mean, they showed in the start, so they didn't listen to him. It works.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah.
Maybe they are intentionally pitching the way he wants them to, just to show it's not the way.
I stand by what I tweeted earlier today, and that is, I don't know why any Pirate fan should want them to win another game.
Oh yeah,
this season.
Yeah. I mean, did you see my response to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
know I won't actively root for them to lose while I'm watching a specific game.
Right.
But at the
Tell
same
that to your
time,
snap video you sent to Ryan.
But at the same time, I don't want them to win another game.
Big picture, why win another game? I mean, get the best draft pick you can, even though obviously that draft pick's not going to pay immediate dividends. But what's the point of winning games right now?
Yeah.
It's just when you're sitting there watching a game, you're not, you don't want to see them get. Look at last night's game. That's not enjoyable to watch.
No.
Other than it's kind of funny to see Jose Osuna pitch.
He was solid.
Yeah. Hey, he made it on Pitching Ninja. So I mean.
Yeah. Almost identical
Mechanics.
to
Felipe.
93-mile-per-hour paint.
Yeah. Also, I do want to say, I am not a fan of Hurdle, but I think he has a longer leash, especially after signing that extension.
I'm at the point with most of the organization where it's kind of just like neutral. I don't care what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we kind of started off talking about all the injuries and stuff. What could he really, do with a lot of the things that have happened?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the guys, when the bullpen's at its worst, there's not a single guy you can hand the ball to that's not named Felipe that's going to get you outs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rich Rod has been unbelievable.
Jesus Rod.
Yeah, since he dressed up as Jesus.
Jesus.
But in Liriano hasn't been the exact same, and he's probably been your third most reliable arm because Crick walks somebody every time he comes in.
He's picked it up recently.
Last couple outings. Yeah.
I still stand by my statement of Liriano should not be on the team. That was horribly, horribly wrong the first month of the season. But also, looking forward in the bullpen, barring Vasquez getting dumped, a bullpen, and Keller for that matter.
Keller could be traded as well.
That's what I was about to say.
I think Vasquez is getting moved. And I think Keller
I'm
might
not going to
too.
say I'm looking forward to it, but
I'm interested.
the potential return intrigued me. And that's why I say, so I just said how I'm pretty much impartial now for a lot of the organization. That goes for NH as well. Depending on what that return would be, that could sway me one of those two ways. Very much so.
Because both of what Chapman got and Epstein acknowledging he overpaid.
Mm-hmm. That's for half a season.
Yeah. And the fact Felipe's on such a good team-friendly long deal, and the fact the Dodgers are so desperate for a bullpen arm that isn't named Casey Sadler. And boy, do I miss that guy.
God.
Dude, he's killing it.
Well, with how bad their bullpen is, you could probably stand to throw in a second arm.
Probably.
Pirates.
Probably throw Kella in there.
And imagine that return. Sorry, Dodgers, you no longer have a top 30 prospect list.
Yeah.
They're all on the
Top 10.
Pirates.
Top 10.
Dodgers. If we trade Vasquez to the Dodgers, I want minimum 3 of their top 7 or 8 prospects.
You know what's crazy is I'm not even there's other teams interested, I'm sure, but it's just like the Dodgers. It's like there's the Dodgers, whatever type of gap, however much space you want to put there.
30,000 feet of shit.
And then the other contenders.
It's like the Dodgers. You're the best team in baseball.
And you have incredible scouting.
You have a great farm. So how bad do you want
that you
him?
don't need.
Yeah.
Because whenever you need something, you can buy it.
So how bad do you want him?
Unless that somebody is named Hanley Ramirez, Josh Beckett, or Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
Just show me how bad you want him.
I mean, I don't know how much it should play into it, the fact that they've lost the last 2 World Series. Like, can you really afford to go lose another one? Like, they need to do everything they can for this to be the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect them to go to the World Series.
Nobody's under more
whether
pressure.
They win.
There's not a team under more pressure in baseball.
I don't think so.
They're the Tampa Bay Lightning of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They truthfully are.
Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. As for the bullpen, not talking about closers in this situation. Closers.
Yeah.
Hartlieb, Edgar Santana, Luis Escobar, Nick Birdie, Chad Kuhl. I'm not mad at that.
Well, if Tyon's not here next year,
Chad Kuhl's in the
Kuhl could be in
rotation.
the rotation.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Because you still have Asregal, Marvel, Keller.
Marvel,
Did he start in AAA yet?
Yes.
who?
Marvel?
He's been ridiculous in AAA.
Yeah, he's been
Has
killing it.
He's like a 1 ERA in AAA.
Credit that
He's
the division they're in, Indy, is known for not being very offensive.
okay. So then, what the hell's up with Mitch Keller? Because he must suck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of
But-
with Evil Neil at this point. They probably should have traded him instead of Boz or Meadows for that matter.
But with Marvel, it's crazy because he was actually in Altoona the first
Yeah.
time we went, still there.
And we saw him pitch.
And yeah, he's 20. He was 26 in
Mhm.
Double-A, and I was texting Evil Neil about him. He's like, "There's nothing there. Like, he doesn't strike enough guys out." But
He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
Dang.
he's recently gotten. I mean, he's starting to strike guys out. What do you have, like 8 Ks his last game?
Yeah.
Like, he's getting actually some strikeouts now. He doesn't really walk anybody.
Well,
he just throws a ton of strikes.
David doesn't
hits.
like Asrigal either.
I understand that because to me, he reminds me of
Trevor Williams.
Yeah, and actually misses less bats.
Yeah.
Like how long can you continue to be successful when you walk one and strike out one?
Yeah.
I mean, if teams are putting the ball in play that much, I don't see the long-term success. It could work for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been good so far, so until something goes bad, I'm not going to, ride on the guy.
He's probably a back-end starter, like a 5-starter like he is now. That's my ceiling on him.
I'm glad that you said ceiling.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even sure if he's that, but that's as high as I would think that he is.
Yeah. It's a weird situation they're in. Because if that Archer trade didn't happen, we're probably still in the same place.
If that Keller trade didn't happen,
We're
We
probably
probably
still in
don't
the
see
same
Brian.
place.
We probably don't see Brian Reynolds this year.
More than likely, yeah.
Taylor Hearn would probably be on the Pirates.
You think?
he made the Rangers.
I think he at some point is called up. Yeah,
Yeah.
with everything that's happened in the bullpen, he probably would have been ahead of Jeff on the pecking order.
Probably, maybe.
It's gonna suck if Keller is traded, knowing that we gave away. We traded one of the people we had on our show for nothing.
The second guest that we've had on here.
The infamous ending.
Yep, the best ending in show history.
Oh, absolutely.
Beep, beep.
I'm honestly contemplating going back and clipping that just to use as our outro.
No, just as play it whenever we just want to stop talking about something or don't want to listen to something.
Every time Geddes comes in the chat.
Okay. So, all right. Let's think about something here. Who do you, honest to God, believe isn't on the Pirates when we record the live episode?
So that's the 3rd.
Yeah.
That is a week and 2 days away.
Yes.
Melky. Vasquez. Dickerson. One of Dickerson or Greg.
Okay.
And that is not me wanting Greg gone. I think they might do it. I have no good reason.
Can you
But-
trade guys that are on the IL?
Is he on the IL? I thought he was just
You can't.
floating around. Yeah, you
By the
can
way.
right now. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was just on the bench
Lyles?
still. I don't think anybody takes him. I'd be
Okay.
shocked if somebody did.
Okay.
Cervelli's going to be around. I want Gung to go, but like you said, he'll probably end up.
He's more of a DFA than a trade candidate.
For me, I'm just gonna say Melky and Keller. That's it.
Probably Killa. Yeah. Is there anyone on 1-year deals I'm forgetting?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
That might be it.
I'm starting to think they might clean house to let the young guys come up.
Maybe. So I'm going to say they've made it known that their preference
Mitch Keller.
is
Oh,
to trade.
Liriano.
Yeah, I don't know what I was mentioning to Jamal. I haven't seen his name at all, but
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because a lefty out of the bullpen could definitely be of use for a contender. He's not having a bad season.
It's been getting
Like-
worse, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
up until past couple appearances.
So I'm gonna say Dickerson, and I think if they trade both Dickerson and Melky, I mean, to me, I would just because they're both pending UFAs. I really don't care how the rest of the season plays out, but it'd be interesting to see what they do with the outfield for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I think that they will keep one, even though I wouldn't. And just based off what I've seen, they've gotten more interest in Melky, but they
Yeah.
prefer to trade Dickerson. So
I think they'd be comfortable with rolling with Jason Martin.
yeah, but the thing is, I could also see them keeping Melky and trying to sign him to another 1-year deal.
Which I don't hate that at all.
So I'm gonna say Dickerson gets traded, but not Melky. I don't want to say that I want to see Vasquez go because I love him, but that the return could be
Insane.
I don't want to say franchise altering, but
Eric
next
Lindros-esque.
year impactful like immediately.
Yeah.
I don't think that they do it, to be honest.
That's why I didn't
I'm
include him.
gonna say Dickerson, Kella, and Lyles. I don't know what they did for him, but I think he's traded.
I think they're going to treat.
Was it DiNardo or North Shore 9? I don't know which account it was from, but it was probably DiNardo either way.
Did it say Mitch Keller?
Said no.
Oh.
They said on Twitter, well, I mean, if you're trading Lyles, it's probably to a team that's going to use him out of the bullpen, and he did have a pretty good first inning. So.
Good point. Very good point, because they did also bring up in the chat trade Mitch Keller.
This year? Why would you trade Mitch Keller this year?
Should have traded him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Should have traded him last year.
I think Neil Huntington probably just doesn't want another Garrett Cole situation where the return is like a kind of underwhelming to the organization, and I just don't think he'll pull the trigger on Vasquez.
You think he's afraid to make another big move?
Hope not.
Trading
that would be terrible if he was. I'm
Yeah.
not going to speculate that he is.
Yeah.
But
well, considering what he got for Garrett Cole, which I mean I didn't hate the trade, but the return was underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you would think Moran would have been like the third
Archer
piece,
trade is what
DiNardo? I was going with a joke.
Okay.
It was a bit.
The Archer trade as well. I think he might be afraid to make a big move, and unless he knows for sure, like unless we get like 4 guys out of their top 8 or top 10 prospects, I don't think he'll bite.
Yeah, I mean it's the Dodgers. Like I said, they should be the most desperate team in baseball. And the Pirates they don't have a reason necessarily to trade Vasquez unless you get the exact haul that
King's
you want.
ransom.
Because, 4 years of control, they can get that exact same thing next year from somebody. Teams are going to be the same desperate. It's going to be the trade deadline. Teams like, oh, we need an elite back-end arm. You can get that same return for Vasquez next season.
Yeah. Completely
So
agreed.
the Pirates don't have a reason to trade him, but there's not a chance in hell I'm not listening.
Yeah. Donnie, your thoughts?
I'm just soaking everything in. So after we conclude this, I'm actually going to hop on MLB The Show at 16 that I have downloaded on my PS4, and I'm going to make all this shit happen.
So how
Good
much?
luck, because I don't think a lot of guys in the Pirates right now are in that game.
How much do you follow the Pirates out there?
I really try to. My girlfriend actually kind of keeps me updated. So she gets like updates like through her phone and stuff. So I found like this year more than any other have been like really taking a liking to baseball. So obviously not a lot of games are broadcasted out here, but I'll still try to like catch a game on Reddit whenever I can. But it just like sucks. Like you guys were talking about a little bit earlier. It's just kind of like depressing to see like loss after loss, especially after the really good first half the Pirates had, or at least ended it with. It just sucks. Everything I see on Twitter about, ownership being asked, not wanting to spend money. And I can't even get into like the Clint Hurdle debate. It's kind of similar to Mike Tomlin, but it's nuts. I mean, I think that's kind of the reason why I didn't like baseball growing up, is the Pirates are so ass,
Yeah. Well, and the tough thing is,
Mm-hmm.
being born into a Pirate fan family, because you just like for the first 20 years of my life, I didn't even know what I'm not 20 years, 18 years of my life, I didn't even know what it was to be a fan of a winning team. Like I didn't even expect that the Pirates would ever be good. And then 13 through 15 happened, and I was just like, oh, this is
what this is.
We're good now.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep building up to that. And then, I get smarter. I start to realize we're a small market. We have these windows of competition. But the problem with the Pirates is that they're not willing to accept that. They try to keep
The window
this
open
this
always.
window open all the time, as opposed to just going 3 to 5 years trying to go all in for it like the Royals did, and they won a World Series, and then completely sucking for 3 to 5 years again, and then we'll do it over again.
If not more.
Yeah. And then we'll do it over again and try to build back up to that. I could get more behind the Pirates doing that as opposed to keeping this window, which I don't even consider a window because it's not like they're good, window open for competition. I could get more behind them, being really good for 3 to 5 years and then being terrible for 3 to 5 years to build back up to that.
Yeah.
Because I would understand that as a small market team. It just sucks that they're in a sport, the MLB, where it pretty much caters to less than 5 teams, and then the other teams are kind of like a carousel. So right now, the Rays are finding a way to do it. The Twins are really good right now. Who in the NL are you looking at that's not really a big market?
Braves.
I mean, the Braves are kind of like we said, middle.
Yeah. But they are
Braves are in a
still
playoff
getting
spot.
superstars on super cheap deals.
I think looking at the NL, I didn't like a single playoff team. Because I was talking to Jamal about it, I was like, from the AL, it's really just like the Yankees that I wouldn't want to win. In the NL, it's like I don't like a single team besides. I mean, I honestly, it sounds bad as a Pirate fan to say this, but I wasn't around during '92 or anything like that, so I don't mind the Braves. Ideally, I would want them to represent the NL out of the teams that are in the playoffs right now.
I don't mind the Brewers. I don't mind the Cardinals that much. I hate the Cubs. I will always hate
the
Cubs.
hatred for the Cubs and Cardinals is kind of. I think we've said it on here before. It's kind of like the Ravens and Bengals for Steeler fans.
Yeah.
Because, like the hatred for the Cardinals is completely different. I relate it to the Ravens. It's a hatred more out of like respect, whereas like the hatred for the Bengals for the Steelers fans is the same as the Cubs, where it's just like literally hatred.
Yeah. I despise Cubs fans. They're all a bunch of shitheads.
I despise Joe Madden.
Yeah,
That's
Actually,
that's the start of it.
Correction. Curtis, I'm sorry.
That's the Nugent. But yeah, it all starts there. It starts with Joe Madden for me, for the Cubs.
Yeah, so let me ask you guys this, because I've seen this idea kind of tossed around. Do you think there's a possibility that the Pirates might actually move within the next couple decades?
See, that would be the problem with what I said as far as, going all out and being terrible, going to the cellar and doing a full rebuild, is because not that there's a ton of fan support now, but there are very few people that can get behind that. They would have nobody at the stadium. And it would probably close their window in Pittsburgh that much more. So, I mean, that's probably, I don't know if that's playing into the reason that they really never want to commit to a rebuild is because of, fan perception and, feeling like maybe we don't have a future in Pittsburgh if we do this. But
I said it last week, there is no future in Pittsburgh. I kind of come to accept that.
Yeah. I mean,
years.
To be honest, Pittsburgh is the smallest metropolitan area with 3 teams.
Yes.
So,
we can financially only support 2.
We really, that speaks to Pittsburgh fandom, I guess, the fact that we have 3. But, yeah, I mean, really we should only have 2. So.
Yeah, and I brought it up before. Even Mario said if the NHL didn't have a cap,
yeah,
they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be contending. They wouldn't be able to spend. They'd probably be in Kansas City not being able to spend.
Yeah.
So. Anything else?
Donnie, any final thoughts on anything?
No, not really.
You want to ask about my jersey collection, or?
Actually, yeah, let's hear it. I heard you name drop Morgan Burnett earlier.
So I did have a Morgan Burnett jersey. I bought it at the beginning of last year.
Why?
For whatever reason, I was a big fan of him with the Packers. I don't know. I was actually, for some reason, very excited about that signing. I thought it was kind of I knew it was a specialist signing. I just thought it was going to be the guy to cover Gronk. That's what I envisioned.
That's why they released him, because Gronk's done.
And yeah, there's no need. Yeah, that worked out well anyway. But I don't know. There was just something about Morgan Burnett that I liked.
Boy.
A defensive back that actually really enjoyed tackling.
Backfired.
But yeah, that jersey backfired. But now it's gonna be a Sutton Smith jersey. So, anyway, Steeler jerseys.
Jerseys or jerseys?
Jerseys.
Okay.
So I just got a Devin Bush jersey, but I also have Vince Williams, James Conner, Juju, obviously, T.J. Watt, Edmonds.
So which one is your go-to? Which one is your church jersey? Which one's the jersey you're putting on to wear to church?
That is actually his Jerome Bettis jersey.
None. But anyway, as far as on Sundays for games, I'll wear whatever color the team is. So if they're on the road, typically I go with my white one.
Ooh, clutch.
I feel like the Bush one will probably be my primary home one this year. I'm definitely going to be wearing that to the opener against Seattle, for sure.
So, you guys saw those reverse legend jerseys or whatever the hell they were called?
Mm-hmm.
If they make a TJ Watt one of those, I am buying it 1,000%.
I'm actually curious to see, I feel like they could do more with that.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, that color scheme is okay. I can deal with it.
I love it.
But, like, I want to see what that would actually look like in a version that would be on the field.
What are these called?
They were like
Um,
reverse legend jerseys. Something like
yeah,
that.
I'm not sure the name. Anyway,
It's like a
so
James Conner yellow jersey.
so Pirates jerseys, if you're including the ones I also just got with those, I have a black Diaz, black Archer, yellow Reynolds, white
Ooh.
Newman, and the Military Thursday Hartlieb.
Word to Jeff for saying that was his favorite.
And then Penguin jerseys, I have the Stadium Series from last year, Letang, the alternate Gensel, away Dumoulin, and home Crosby. So, yeah, I got a good amount of jerseys.
Very nice.
Depending on Pedersen's,
Yeah, yep.
Depending on Pedersen's extension, I might get one of his.
Uh,
one of his.
I'm definitely going to have a jersey. Jersey I don't know about.
I'll do it. I'm about to have a Jack Johnson jersey if we don't trade him.
Yikes.
That's actually, you know what? We're gonna
we
do
should give
more.
it away. I'll change it to Johnson. We'll give it away.
We're gonna do more jersey talk.
Do you want people to unfollow us?
Actually, that reminds me. We for the live event that we are going to be doing before
yes.
before we wrap up on here,
Yes.
we are going to have some stuff to give away. We have a ton of autographed hats that we still have from Pirate Spring Training that were worn by the players during spring training. Then signed.
Spring training.
We have a couple pairs of autographed cleats as well. And I'm probably going to include a couple other things. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
If somebody gets a pair of cleats at the live show, are they able to take them into the stadium?
I mean,
no, probably not.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
weird.
Well, they're going to be parked there, right, at the
Let's
parking
see.
lot. So,
They might walk. I know Platt walked last time.
oh
Eh.
yeah,
go put it in your car.
Wow, that was aggressive.
okay.
Don't be dumb.
Anyway, so last couple things. No one has claimed this Josh Bell autograph ball. I
No.
get it. He's on a tailspin right now. All right,
I get it.
but he was still an all-star.
He has our
and-
shirt.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. I don't know where it came from.
We didn't bring that up yet. So, okay, I texted you guys about how it happened, right?
Yeah.
No.
So Chris Stratton bought a dozen of them.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, we can talk about it after. Anyway, Jeff was the day that Jeff got optioned.
Mm-hmm.
Stratton bought a dozen, but Jeff had no idea who they were going to. So apparently Josh was one of those. I'm just curious as now who like the other 10 are.
Or 11. Who knows if
So-
Stratton got one for himself?
Well, I'm assuming he got one for himself.
And where's our money?
yeah.
yeah, mainly.
But anyway, so yeah, that we've also, I mean, this is what the 4th episode where you've announced the winner. So hopefully this person listens, whether it be right now. You actually have a bit because we're not recording for a while. Our next episode's gonna be the live
9
show.
days.
over a
You have
week,
9 days.
So you have a while to listen to this. But Jim at Northside Notch, you are the winner of the Josh Bell ball. So please reach out to us.
It's been sitting on my
It's been
desk
sitting-
for like 4 weeks.
Beefy's getting ready to go play catch with it. So he's getting ready to go hit some dingers.
Yeah.
If this ball isn't playing,
Sandlot all over again.
Yeah, he's going to go practice for the Horse Nickel softball tournament.
that he's not playing in.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Oops.
Which, oh, by the way, anybody, I don't know why anybody that's listening to this would be in the area, but if you happen to be, this weekend at Central Valley Middle School, a.k.a. Manatee High School, if you're that old and remember it as that,
If you're that
Um,
old.
the Horse Nickel Foundation softball tournament's to be done. We got a dozen teams, so it's going to be pretty cool. We're playing on those couple fields.
I believe Smitty's the only one that's going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be the only one there.
I'll be dying all
I'm
week.
pretty
if I were-
recognizable, as well as the fact that my compression sleeve does on part of it say around the 412. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah, I made like custom compression sleeves.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Anyway, so
Weird
come
flex.
check it out if you're in the area.
Weird.
Once again, rocking around the 412 year 2. It's our pinned tweet on Twitter. I always have trouble with that, but I'm glad that I said it perfectly the first time. Go read the mission. Please share it. If you can donate. The prizes are going to be great. It's essentially the same thing this year as last year, just unfortunately no tickets. Oh, Penguin tickets, though. There are Penguin tickets. I didn't mention that at the beginning. So, yeah, Penguin tickets are also included in that. So, donate, and your chances of winning are pretty good. Ask the people that were part of it last year. You donate like $20, and you can win a jersey or tickets. So, anyway, Donnie, thanks for coming on again. Can't wait to launch this fantasy football show, which should be coming to you guys soon. Actually, we might have one up before the live show. Who knows? So,
Do you
but
guys
we'll
know
see.
what days of the week you're going to do that?
Donnie and I have been talking privately a little bit about it.
Okay.
We've had a
Per
couple
sources.
conversations.
On
Yeah.
the spot.
Per sources, a lot of things have been figured out. But
Okay.
Good.
gonna be a lot of fun, and hope everybody's excited for it. I know we've already gotten not that we can have positive feedback on the shows, obviously, because we haven't done one.
On the idea.
But the comments have been pretty positive. People are excited about it, so
Wait
I
till
know we're
comment.
excited.
I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. I'm not on the show.
I mean, everybody does fantasy football, so
Hmm.
now you just have Donnie and I to help you win a championship. Donnie, how many
True.
championships did you win last year?
So I went back to back in my home league last year, and then I also won my work league as well.
Nice.
But they were
And I
happy.
came away with 3. The only league I didn't make the playoffs in was around the 4-2.
Ha.
And I went to the championship in one league and won 3 others. So
In 2 of the 3 leagues I was in, I came in second.
Yeah, I probably won't be playing.
there's a lot of fantasy knowledge going on around the 4-2.
I may not
Yeah.
follow football that much, but
Not
I'm
to
very good
brag.
at fantasy.
But anyway, so stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. And follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. We are on Facebook now.
Yes, do that. If you have a Facebook.
Like, comment on YouTube. You guys know where to find us. We got everything right down there. So
Follow us
until
on Twitch because we like to interact with you people.
Yes, follow us on Twitch. And
Because
as, well,
as you can see, all show we were talking to people that were there in our chat.
yeah, if you listen back to this, you're probably like, why are they stopping right here to say something?
No, they can see it.
It's because I'm
Well,
saying,
if you're listening to the audio,
Yeah,
Why,
I'm
why
saying-
do you listen to the audio? Just watch the video. Come on.
anyway, thanks for listening / watching, and we'll talk to you guys during the live episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.